It's time for a little Hardwood hysteria. Your coach leads the team in a pre-game moment of silence. The only sound heard from the locker room is the methodical dripping of a leaky showerhead. Then, with intensity in his eyes, coach looks up and growls, "Time to crash the boards." The screams of 40,000 strong reverberate through the packed arena as you blast out of the tunnel and into the blinding camera light of the national media. That's quite the build-up. Hysteria is the operative word, I would say. Double Dribble was, at the time, right at the forefront in terms of basketball video games. The NES version was pretty popular despite not being anything amazing, and so what with Nintendo and Konami being absolute bedfellows, there was no reason not to create a portable version. Based on my 30 minutes experience of that game, I can say that this one isn't really any better. In fact, it's worse. Much, much worse. Where the original was fun, if not remarkable, this one lacks any real playability. You press A when in possession of the ball to pass to a teammate, although it's quite hard to differentiate between allies and opponents, and if you don't get the direction right, your man will just lob the ball aimlessly off the court rather than having a lenient auto-target system. If you're in a reasonable range of the basket, press B to attempt a shot. Now, in most basketball games I've played, you press the shoot button once to start your jump, then again to throw the ball. This isn't part of this game. Whether you press B once, twice, or hold it, the shot will make the hoop, or not, based on what may as well be a completely random string of numbers. A score happens sometimes, but mostly not. You have no control over it. In defense, well, you have no defense. The manual purports that A will attempt to steal, but in actuality it does absolutely nothing. B is supposed to switch between your players, but most of the time, it does absolutely nothing. I've got so little time or energy for broken controls, especially when a game should be reasonably simple to get right. If I wasn't a video game reviewer, there would be no way on earth I'd persist with this game for more than a couple of minutes. There's only one game mode, 5 on 5. No leagues or anything like that. You can choose from 8 teams that supposedly have different stats. Don't be fooled into thinking it makes a difference. They're based very loosely on actual franchises, in that they're located in cities that have NBA teams, but are called things like New York Empire and Boston Frogs. The court is looked at from the side, and you're always shooting to the right. You can choose from 3 difficulty settings, 1 is the weakest with 3 being the strongest. Pick your quarter length from 5, 10 or 15 minutes. Seriously, who would play this for a whole hour? And start the game. You're supposed to press B to jump for the tip-off, but I've never won one, so I don't even bother anymore. Even on the lowest difficulty, the opponents never seem to miss a pass, but they'll sure as hell intercept yours with no problem. The only real noticeable difference with the difficulty is that the lowest ones seem to miss their shots around half the time, while the best teams never do. Strangely for Konami, the sound is not so great in Double Dribble, despite it being pretty strong in the NES game. What is excellent, however, and I feel like I should give some props to the game at least, are the graphics, especially the slam dunk cutscenes. They're drawn quite masterfully, so that you almost aren't sure the Game Boy has only 4 shades available. One day I wonder if I'll see my own team score one of those. Probably not. And hey, let's be fair, the whole game really looks excellent. Like I said, it's sometimes hard to differentiate between the 2 sets of players, but that's more down to the system than the game. It's a point thoroughly hammered home by this point, but the Game Boy's sports portfolio was not the strongest facet to its library. Double Dribble 5 on 5 is atrocious even by the Game Boy's standards. The score is better than it should be based solely on the fact that it looks so good, but like a Natalie Portman starring role, it doesn't matter that you're beautiful if what you produce makes the consumer die inside a little. I was never a basketball fan before now, and this game does nothing to change my outlook on the sport. If anyone ever asks me what basketball team I support, I'm just gonna shout, "Go Frogs!" at them, and hope they leave me alone. Thanks so much for watching this video. The Kickstarter for the book is now live. Check the link in the description for how you can back the project and be the first to get your hands on the portable power encyclopedia, featuring more than 900 Game Boy game reviews and a whole wealth of useful information on the world's favorite handheld console. See you later on.